Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for the month of July 2024. You have this caution card that says more going out than coming in. You also have this business card that says expect to have an amazing boost up the business ladder. So, again, I would keep an eye on your finances, but it also kind of looks like you could be, getting a raise or a promotion or improving your finances. The other thing I would say is that you start with the Seven of Pentacles here, and the Seven of Pentacles can represent a change in direction or, kind of saying he's looking at those Seven Pentacles, what he has produced, and he is saying, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it worth it for me to keep doing the work on these Seven Pentacles, or is there something better? You also have the Three of Wands. And the Three of Wands, he is my card that says, what are you waiting for? So it's kind of a card that says, you are thinking about making a change. He's looking off into the horizon. He's looking off at those ships that are on the water there on the card. And he's kind of thinking about what would happen if he were to go on an adventure or if he were to do something new or different in his life. So I feel for a lot of you that you are kind of looking for something better or you're hoping for something better. And I feel like you haven't been seeing it. The true story of the Three of Wands is that he's looking at that water, but it's golden in color. And so he thinks that it's the desert at first, but when he looks closer, he sees the ships. And so it kind of says that you have been looking for something, but you think that it doesn't exist, but actually does exist if you look closer. So maybe you've been looking for a job but haven't been finding one, or you've been looking for love but haven't been finding it, or whatever it is. But the Three of Wands wants us to kind of like go on the adventure of finding the thing that we want. So we have to like leave the house. We have to, go on adventures. We have to, an adventure you can do at home as well. You can learn new things about whatever opportunity it is that you're looking for. So the Three of Wands just really wants us to expand and learn and grow. And if we do those things, then we get the rewards. I feel like the Seven of Pentacles is basically saying the same thing. It's like saying you've gotten as much as you can out of a situation. The Seven of Pentacles, he pretty much has learned everything he can about growing these pentacles. He's gotten everything he can out of the situation. And so now it's time for him to make a change. It's time for him to do something different or to move in a new direction. And not only that, but you also have the Eight of Cups here. And the Eight of Cups would say that you're walking away from something. And, some people say he's walking towards the Nine of Cups, which could be true. But we don't actually know what he is walking towards. He is just walking into darkness. He is walking, into the unknown. So I feel for a lot of you that you could kind of be taking a little bit of a risk here, probably to find fulfillment. You have the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups could definitely be love, and we'll talk about it, but the Ace of Cups is about finding fulfillment. It's also about finding flow. The Ace of Cups, it can reach down into that water. It can fill itself back up, and then it's kind of creating its own flow. And so this is something that will never make you tired. This is something that fulfills you endlessly, right? And I feel like for a lot of you, you're kind of looking for, endless fulfillment. It's not really possible to find endless fulfillment, but I think you're trying to get as close as you can. With the Three of Wands, you have the Eight of Swords. Yeah, feeling trapped and restricted. I actually don't feel like this is a bad thing. Like, again, sometimes I think it's a good thing that we feel restricted, or, it's a good thing that we have some sort of restriction because that's what makes us grow. Obviously, if we didn't have restriction or if we didn't feel restricted at times or frustrated, then we would never make a change. So I don't think these emotions or feelings are a bad thing. I think they're a good thing. These feelings, they motivate us to make a change. And I don't actually feel that you are stuck. Sometimes I think the Eight of Swords definitely can represent feeling stuck or trapped or isolated or like you can't move. But I kind of feel that this is more of a feeling for you. It's not, like I said, it's more, the feeling I get for you in your reading is like frustration or not feeling progress or feeling like you're going to be left behind or something, right? And that's what I get here. So again, not a bad thing. It's probably something that's motivating you. We'll see. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Cups. Some of you are clearly looking for new love. You have the King and Queen of Wands here. These two are divine counterparts, so there could be a very fiery connection that's coming in for you, one that has a lot of desire as well. You also have the Emperor, the King of Cups, the Lovers. So we are off to a good start if you happen to want love this month. The Knight of Cups could definitely be a knight in shining armor that's coming in for you. You know, the Knight of Cups is just someone who sweeps you off your feet. With the Ace of Cups, you have the High Priestess. Yes, trust your intuition. Again, could be a Pisces, but I mean, you have like every single sign here, so literally could be any sign that's coming in for you. I feel that this is more saying that your intuition is trying to guide you. I also feel that the High Priestess is encouraging you to look into mysteries. You know, the High Priestess is a mystery, but she needs to look into a mystery. She shouldn't just let a mystery be a mystery when she can learn about it, right? So the High Priestess really represents unlimited potential. She has no roof over her head, and it kind of represents that there are no limits to what she can accomplish. The only limit is herself. So she needs to look into something that she's interested in, because if she educates herself, then she might actually find something that leads to a lot of fulfillment or growth or whatever. You have this card that says truth transcends illusion. And also this wolf spirit says turn knowledge into wisdom. There you go. So knowledge is just knowing something, is just learning something. The wisdom part comes from putting it into practice. So I feel it's time for you to like put things that you are learning into practice. That will probably lead to the most growth and success for you just in general. And I would also say the truth transcends illusion card is like the same thing. It's like you can know something, but that might be an illusion because you might discover things that you wouldn't have known otherwise if you didn't put what you know into practice. And so I really feel this is saying it's time to take action. You even end with this card that says it's time to take action, right? So we'll talk about that. You have the Sun, the King of Wands, and the King of Cups. The Sun is, of course, a card of happiness, best card in the tarot, so there could be some really good things happening for you this month. A lot of happiness and joy. I mean, July kind of is a month that is associated with the Sun, so, you know, a lot of you could be finding happiness, joy, good energies, good things coming in for you, all sorts of stuff coming in for you with the Sun. The Sun to me also shines a light on things. Like to me, it's a card that is like a spotlight. It shines a light on one thing that we need to pay attention to in life, and then we can go from there. So I feel that you need to pay attention to where your attention is guiding you. You know, the Sun, when it comes up in a reading, it really tells me that your attention is guiding you towards something. You have the King of Wands. I kind of feel like this is one person, King of Wands, King of Cups. So if you want love, you could be attracting someone who's like very bold and assertive, but also who has their emotions in check. But this person could also be very intuitive as well. I think that the fire signs are very intuitive. Like Leo in particular, is very intuitive, but they aren't always seen as being very intuitive, but they are. So I feel that for a lot of you, I mean, it could be a fire sign that's like very intuitive. It could be a water sign that's very bold. Again, a lot of people think water signs are passive, but it's not true. Again, trust me, I get tons of comments every single day where people are like, I'll never date a Leo again because of blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, well, not every Leo is exactly the same. And I've met plenty that destroy your point. So again, I don't think we should be, number one, judging people based off of their sun sign, because people are not necessarily their sun. There's a lot more that goes into it. But again, I kind of get that. It's popping into my head that, again, you could be meeting a person and it's like their sun sign is like one thing, but maybe you have certain assumptions about that sun sign, but this person is actually totally different. So, there you go. I don't know where I was going with that, but there you go. The King of Wands also would encourage you to be bold and assertive and also to follow your visionary ideas. The Three of Wands is a card of foresight. The King of Wands has foresight. He is a visionary. He's a leader. And so if you have any visionary or leader type ideas, then I would move towards those ideas. You have the King of Cups. The King of Cups, again, could be a person who has their emotions in check. The other thing that I will tell you is that both the King of Cups and the King of Wands are very adventurous. The King of Cups even has a boat behind him, and the boat on the King of Cups represents exploring the unknown. So again, you could be attracting a person who explores like new ideas or who does things that you don't know about or whatever. Not like in a bad way, but just meaning, it's like maybe you meet this person and you think that they're like one thing, but they actually have a lot more to them. Maybe this person has multiple layers, right? I even think that also on a personal level, if you don't want love, but even if you do, I feel that this row is saying that you yourself are exploring. The whole reading really is saying that you are exploring different layers of yourself, and you could be discovering new things, like new habits, new ideas, new things that you want to explore, new adventures that you could go on. With the Sun, you have the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, I think it'll be very obvious to you, like the things that you need to correct in your finances. So this could be like a financial correction month. I actually think money looks pretty good for you, even though you have that card that says caution. It's not saying something bad is going to happen. It's just saying caution. It's just saying don't waste all your money, right? And so I feel like the areas of your finances that need correction are being shown to you. And so I would just pay attention, fix it and move forward, right? With the King of Wands, you have the Queen of Wands. Yes, are you kidding? So King and Queen of Wands basically twice. Definitely could be a connection where there's, a hot and heavy connection here, Scorpio. One where there's a lot of desire, a lot of affection, and, could be very exciting. It looks pretty good to me. Sometimes I feel that the King and Queen of Wands, it can start hot and then, it can kind of like fizzle out. But so far, this looks pretty good. With the King of Cups, you have the Hierophant, marriage. You also have divine counterparts right here. The Hierophant and the High Priestess. The Hierophant is sometimes called the High Priest. So for a lot, this to me is much better than the Emperor and the Empress. It's more of a spiritual connection. And maybe that's why I feel this isn't going to fizzle out, is because it seems to me like if you're meeting a new person this month that there's like a little bit more than just the hot and heavy. There's a little bit more going on here than just that. So it's going to allow it to, progress, to build up, to get better, to be something worth being in. I also like the Hierophant because the Hierophant can be a clue for blessings. Sorry, my face itches, and and so sorry, my allergies have been really bad. But there you go. You didn't need to know that. So again, sometimes I feel the Hierophant is like a little bit of a clue that there are going to be blessings, or you're walking towards blessings. Next, in the area of what's coming towards you, you have this pleasure card and this embracing card. So much nicer energy. The pleasure card kind of just represents peace and harmony and a better energy coming in for you. The embracing card is saying, like, I feel like it's almost like, let me put it this way. Sometimes I think people, it's like you see where you're at in life, and then you see this point over here in the future where you say, like, okay, right now I don't have money, but in the future I want to have $10 million, right? But it's like you can't just jump from where you're at to the $10 million, right? Obviously, you're going to have to make it. There's a process that you have to follow. I feel like this embracing card is saying that you are embracing the process. Like you are willing to go on the journey, and I feel like you're accepting it. And you're saying, like, there are things that I have to do to get there. And I think the reason a lot of people don't make money is because they're like, I want this right now, instead of like doing the things to get to that point. And again, maybe you've learned like a lot of lessons over the past few years that have taught you that you have to like be patient and, go through the process. So because you're willing to do it, then you're going to get it, right? You have the Eight of Cups. I think that everybody right now could be just cutting things out that no longer serve them. The Eight of Cups is about walking away from things that no longer serve you and walking towards something better. Again, the Eight of Cups is the only card in the tarot that has an eclipse on it right here. So, like, things are being eclipsed out of your life. You're removing things that no longer serve you, and you're moving towards things that do. You have the World card. The World is about an accomplishment. So I do feel like there could be a big accomplishment or multiple accomplishments coming in for you with the World. I also feel like you're kind of creating your own world. She has these two wands, and those two wands, they represent two things, obviously. One wand is kind of like the magician's wand. She can create with her words or her manifestations. The other wand is more like physical, more 3D. She can create with her actions or through taking action, and that's what I feel like you're doing here. You have the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is about, again, being bold, being fearless, moving forward, just like the King of Wands. The Queen of Wands is a little bit different because she has to learn as she goes. So she might be moving in, towards something new in her life, but she doesn't have all the answers. No one does have all the answers, but also you have the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands kind of says, what are you waiting for? You're thinking about doing something, and now it's time to get started. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Six of Swords. Yeah, Six of Swords is about moving on to calmer shores. So again, I think that a lot of you could be seeing improvements this month. So far, every single person has had the Six of Swords that I've read for this month. So, I think this is like a collective thing. I think the summer is pretty nice, the energy, and we could all just feel like things are improving, or we could be creating improvements. With the World card, you have the Four of Pentacles. I feel like you want more stability. Here's the thing that I would say to you here, Scorpio, is like anything, it's like How do I want to say this? I feel like for some of you, it's like not a time to play it safe. We even go up to the Five of Wands here. The Five of Wands is showing up in the area of the good stuff. What I will say to you is at the end of the year, we have Mars going retrograde in Leo, which is not necessarily a great place for Mars to go retrograde. I don't think anything bad is going to happen. It's just that, Mars is already all about energy. Leo is kind of like about our health and vitality and energy. And so having Mars going retrograde there kind of might slow us down. So I feel like now is not necessarily a time to play it safe. I think now would be and that does not mean that we have to take unnecessary risk, right? But what it does mean is that anything that you can build right now that will move your finances forward, your love life forward, your health forward, like get those foundations built in the world now so that by the time we get to the Mars retrograde, you have the energy to kind of like keep it going, right? With the Queen of Wands, you have the Queen of Swords. I feel like you see something very clearly. She would even be looking up to the Lovers here. So again, you could be seeing a person, you're like, oh, this person would be a good person for me to date. Or, it kind of gives me the vibes of you having your eye on a person, or maybe you started dating a person, or you're going to in the month of July. And I feel like you're going to feel like very clear about where it's going, which is great. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this card that says, expect a powerful change. You have this new moon in Aries. It says it's time to take action. So yes, like I said, I feel like it's time to build things for you here, Scorpio, like as in, it's time to build the things that you can establish in your life that will carry you through, the end of the year, right? And probably into next year as well. So if you're thinking about taking action on something, I would just do it now. Try new things now, build new things now, and that will create the powerful change now instead of you getting to the end of the year, having done nothing, being tired, and then having to wait, right? You have the Five of Wands. Five of Wands is a card of conflict and competition, but it's showing up in the good stuff. These people are fighting with sticks. They're not using swords. So I always say that this is really a good card for learning, for learning from your competition as well. So if you have a business or a career, it could be a really good time for you to learn from the competition or to learn how to do things, from the competition. And that's what I would do here with this card. You have the Lovers. The Lovers definitely could represent love coming in for you. I feel like the summer is great for love. I've been saying this all year that for water signs, if you want love, get out of the house. Go meet a person in public. Put yourself in situations where you could meet a person. Again, we have to do things. Yes, we have to, believe it or not. I know it's hard to believe, but a person is not going to magically appear next to you on your couch. So you have to get out of the house, go take a class, go do something. And again, especially this summer, if you want love, the way to find love, good love, right? Not crappy love. The way to find good love is to, go take a class, go to the gym, go to the store and bump into a person that you find attractive. Do something, right? I feel like I'm always saying I can't teach you how to flirt, Scorpio, but you have to like go do something and actually open your mouth and talk to a person, believe it or not, and that might kind of bring love into your life. So there you go. You have the Emperor. The Emperor is about taking action. We have this card. It says it's time to take action. I do feel you could be attracting like an Emperor type person into your life, like a real boss like person. It doesn't matter whatever gender you're into. So again, I do feel like you could be finding love with that card. With the Five of Wands, you have the Six of Wands here. So yeah, you have multiple sixes, two sixes here. I love two sixes. Two sixes kind of is like confirmation for your path. It just says you're going in the right direction. So I take that as confirmation. With the Lovers, you have the Ten of Cups, true love. Ten of Cups is happy home, happy family. So if you want to have a family with a person or whatever, then this is definitely will be a good connection. With the Emperor, here you go. You have the King of Cups again. So you have the King of Cups twice. Definitely, it's funny that I said water with fire, and then water with fire right here. So I feel like this person, it's like they could be more action, like more of an action taker. I feel like they're less passive as well, is what you'll notice. Like, again, if you have a history of dating water signs and they've all been passive, I feel like this person is much more active. I feel like they take action on things. But the other thing that I've been telling people for like 2 years now is that especially right now and for like the next 20 years, if you're meeting people, we really have to trust the evidence, right? So, again, if you meet this person, like I think that evidence will be clear. They have the evidence to back it up that they actually take action. They don't just say stuff. I feel like this person actually does stuff, so pay attention. You have this pin card. It says new job or career. Really good time for you to like look for new opportunities. I don't necessarily think that Scorpio in particular has to like totally get a new job. You could be getting a raise or promotion. You could be giving yourself a raise, stuff like that. But I definitely see you, work looks good. You have this yoke card. It says feeling tied down or frustrated. Can't make that up. I literally said the word frustration at the beginning of the reading. And so I feel for a lot of you that frustration could be the thing that's, use it as motivation. You have this cobweb card. It says protected from negative forces beyond your control. So I feel like you are protected. You have this carrot. It says opportunity or windfall. Yeah, there definitely could be like some sort of windfall coming in for you. But the weird thing that's popping into my head is I kind of said this earlier. It's almost like you have, by looking at something and fixing it. I think I said something about this on the Seven of Pentacles. Whatever I said on the Seven of Pentacles, it's almost like you have learned and you're turning knowledge into wisdom. You're showing that you have learned the lesson, which you have to actively do. By doing that, that could be the thing where the universe is like saying, oh, that's what I was saying. You can't just get from here to there, right? I was saying you can't just get from $0 to $10 million. But because you're willing to go on the journey, the universe is moving out of the way. It's like the universe is saying, okay, they've learned. Now I can let things happen. It's almost like you're allowing things to happen. You have this bell card. It says announcement on it. I feel like there could be very good news coming in for you. But this whole entire reading looks really good, Scorpio. I like where it's going. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.